my name is Kasturi. I am 34 years old, married, a mother of 2 kids. I come from a middle class background. And I'll tell you one interesting fact. When I quit in August 2020, I was with 40 lakh corpus. Sensex grew from August 2020 till 1st of January 2023. Till that point, I was doing SWP and my corpus remained the same. I think I had an SWP of around 50,000 from one fund and 16,000 from the other fund. I always have this thing in my mind that market has funded my maternity break. Otherwise, what is the use of money?
Absolutely.
If you retire at the age of 30 but have a lot of health problems, have nothing to look forward to. I was starting my career at negative net worth. I was more focusing on going debt free. 2018 onwards, I think the stock market journey started, and in 2020 the stock market hit because of COVID. So I took that calculated risk and I put the entire amount of my FDs into stock. I had invested around 20 lakh. That 20 lakh had become 12 lakh.
Hi Kasturi, let's start with your family, your early background and your career journey so far.
Yes. So my name is Kasturi. I come from a middle class background, born and brought up in Pune. I am an engineer. I am 2011 pass out of metallurgy and material science. I did it from Pune COEP, and post that from 2011 till 2014 I was working with Tata Motors. That was a proper hardcore manufacturing job. I was earning decent then, 6 lakh around. And in 2014, I did my MBA after working 3 years with Tata Motors. 2016, MBA pass out from XIMB. And I specialized in finance. And post that, 2016 to August 2020 was when I worked with ICICI Bank. I had my first kid in January 2020. And then I took an extended maternity, a break, because markets thankfully could fund my break. And I started working again in January 2023 with a global MNC in finance again. And I'm still working with that MNC. So I started with a package of around 5.5, 6 lakh. And today it's grown 6-7 times. So yeah.
Great, perfect. So when you decided to do your MBA, how was the financing done? How did you plan for that? Because it was a 2-year break, right? Break in your active income earning as well. How did you plan for that?
As it is said in the middle class background, that you don't have to invest in stocks and all that. Stocks is gambling. So you do FDs. So that is what I had done. With the 3 years income, I had a good solid portfolio of my FDs. And when I decided to do an MBA just to change the career trajectory, so 10 lakh of it was funded by my parents and 10 lakh was taken as a debt. And I already had the corpus which I had saved in FDs, which was used for the day-to-day expenses.
Got it.
Then after MBA, I joined ICICI. So that was pretty decent, around 16 lakh or so for 4.5 years.
Got it. And then post ICICI is when you took a break.
Yes,
right?
That is
I would love to talk more on that. What triggered you to take that break? And again, from a financial planning perspective, what was your thought process?
So I did 4 years with ICICI. And that was when I got my first baby in the year 2020. So in August, when Sensex had hit...
August of 2020.
August of 2020, And I quit my job to focus on my baby. And before that, my expenses were somewhere around 60 to 70,000, which was including rent. Then I moved with my husband. So that rent portion, it just vanished off because I was living with him then. However, I kept withdrawing 70,000 for my needs, and I lived luxuriously. So that was the time, and that was the only point of time, I think, when I've stopped SIPs and I have continued with SWPs. And I'll tell you one interesting fact. When I quit in August 2020, I was with 40 lakh corpus. Sensex grew from August 2020 till I joined my third corporate stint on 1st of January 2023. Till that point, I was doing SWP and my corpus remained the same.
I feel like this is less talked about. The SWP is so powerful, right? I think in order to, plan your breaks better and, because your rest of the money is also growing. So my understanding of SWP is you invested in, say, a mutual fund and then you start SWP.
Correct.
So which one did you invest in and did you look at maybe the returns that they are giving? What was your framework there?
I did not look at the returns that they were giving because I had to have some money with me.
Mhm.
And at that point of time in 2020, I had two mutual funds. One was
Okay.
index fund, one was mimicking Nifty 50, the second was small cap.
Okay.
So I think I had an SWP of around 50,000 from one fund and 16,000 from the other fund.
Okay.
And whatever was the corpus that was remaining, I used to do an FD of the same.
I see that money serving its purpose, that is to give you freedom, right? That's what it
Correct.
exactly did.
Correct.
What happened in those 3 years from your personal life and from your career perspective? How were you thinking?
So I took the break basically just to look after my kid. And then I thought that since I am having this prolonged break, let me again plan and complete my family. So I had my second kid immediately 2 years after I had my first kid. And I realized that, if I want to work remotely, then possibly even MBA is not going to help. And I need a degree because remote opportunities are majorly given by US companies, and those guys, they don't know our MBA. So I thought that, okay, let me do a foreign certification that might add value. So that was the thought, and I went ahead with CFA. I did my CFA. I self-funded my CFA then because I was anyway withdrawing money. I had my SWPs, and I had my peace of mind. I used to study for 3-4 hours comfortably, cleared my CFA, and in 2023 I became a chartered.
Actually, you did so many milestone moments of your life in those 3 years, right?
Yes, I invested on myself in a way. Yeah.
And I want to understand this investment strategy, right? You started earning around 2014, 16, and then going debt free and then investing, right? From FDs to stock markets. How has your investment journey been?
Yes.
So two parts here. One is, what percentage of your salary did you typically invest early in your life and today, and in what instruments?
So earlier, when I had my first job when I was just 21, at that moment I was investing only in FDs because that is what my dad had taught me. Then when I joined ICICI Bank, I realized that very smart people there are sitting and checking the stock market immediately after it goes live. And I thought, okay, this is something, let me try it. So I started investing in stocks then.
Direct stocks?
Direct stocks. And that was my stipend money. The year was 2015. Sensex was somewhere around 25,000-26,000. So the first stock that I invested was Tata Motors because I deeply loved that company, and I was like, no.
Do you still hold that?
I still hold that.
Oh, that would have made a lot of wealth for you.
I invested in 2015, and I think the stock price was somewhere around 450 per share. And then they announced some stock split bonus. Today it is at 900. It doesn't mean I made 2x. It means I made a lot of money in that because there were stock splits and bonuses that happened in between. Then there were other few companies also wherein I invested, which gave me good return. And I did few of the errors as well. So whatever other stocks that other people are picking up, I used to blindly follow them. Then I used to study the technical aspects of it as well. So like we have margin trading. Intraday trading is margin trading. So I was fascinated by that concept. And at that time, my strategy was simple: to make 1% gain every day. I did the Excel calculation in that intraday trading. So day one, I start with 1,000 bucks, 10 rupees I earn on day one. Every day, if at all, I do 1%. Then at the end of, say, 1 month, 20 trading days, I'll have around 1,200. And at the end of 1 year, I'll have 12,000 rupees. And at the end of the second year, I'll have 1,44,000. At the end of third year, it is 17 lakh. At the end of fourth year, I'll have 2 crore plus. It looks fascinating.
Yeah, on Excel it looks,
Exactly. I started off with 1,000 rupees. And I was too moved by the calculation. So day one, made 10 rupees profit. Perfect. Day two, made 200 rupees profit. So I thought, okay, why am I just investing 1,000? If I invest 10,000, I'll be getting that 2 crore rupees within 3 years. So I just increased my corpus. Third day, I lost it all. But that also did not hamper anything. I thought, okay, 10,000 is a small number. We are talking about 2 CR here in 3 years. So, okay, let me add another 10,000. And again, after 5-6 days, I started losing it all. And it made me realize that in order to get 2 crore rupees, on paper, I require 3 years and 10,000 corpus. However, to lose that much
Hmm.
amount of money, it just takes few days. And from that day till today, I have never traded. It's
Yeah.
always been investment.
So you tried intraday, that didn't work out. Then how did you change your investment strategy?
Once I started working again, a corporate life too, I had started with negative net worth. My debt
because
was
of the
there.
debt. Yeah.
And even at that point, a lot of people have this concept of having debt is okay, but because you get tax benefits.
Hmm.
But the interest rates were so high
Hmm.
that I thought, no, let's first be debt free.
Okay.
The first year's salary possibly went in making myself debt free. And then I started investing in stocks. And then I did not realize when to get out of a stock.
Okay.
Because it does require a lot of analysis.
Right.
You have to be on your toes. You have to read news a lot. So I started investing in mutual funds.
Great, interesting. So on that, right? How does your portfolio look like today?
So till 2020, I just had financial assets. I was just into equities and partially FDs. That was the emergency corpus.
Okay.
In 2020, because of one black swan event, the market crashed. That is when I realized that no, you should have some physical asset as well, and that is the time when I started buying gold.
Okay, so physical gold.
No, previously I started investing in sovereign gold bonds.
Oh, okay, understood.
And right now I do own certain amount of physical gold as well. Real estate is something that I have not explored. Otherwise, I have 5-10% of my portfolios in fixed asset securities, that is bonds. Okay. And the emergency corpus is always in FDs, and the rest of it is in equity. So if at all I want to divide the entire thing, I think 80% of it is still in equities. Okay. Around 10 to 15% of it must be in fixed assets.
Got it.
That
Got
is
it.
FDs and bonds.
Within that equity, 80% also primarily in mutual funds?
Primarily in mutual funds, stocks. Yes. Just because I do not know when to enter a stock and when to exit it.
Got it. Understood. And given, a big chunk of your portfolio is in mutual fund, what is your mutual fund strategy here? How do you pick the right fund?
I keep it very simple. I have a very simple strategy. I'll pick index funds. Okay. Because first of all, the expense ratio is very less in index fund. And secondly, I understand only index funds. Okay. So how many funds do you have in your portfolio today? I think 4. Okay. And all 4 are index is what you say? No. One of them is balanced fund. The rest 3 are index. So it's more like from a very... like risk perspective, so you're always on the conservative side, right? I think index is more stable as compared to other funds. Any index views on that? Index is something which mimics the indices. Right. So I understand that. Whereas any active fund, I do not know what the fund manager's perspective is for choosing stocks. Okay. And I don't even want to get into it. Yeah. And I also want to understand, right? I think in Indian society, right, money is often taken care of by the men, and like women usually just park their money, even if they're earning, right? But, money decisions are taken by one person. It's okay, I think, to divide, responsibilities here. But from your experience, and how does it work with you and your partner in terms of money management, and how, as a household, how do you take those financial decisions? Correct. So every time we have this thing that he will take his decisions about money. Okay. And because I understand a little bit more about money things, so I guide him, but he takes his own decisions. Okay. Same goes with me. I have full control of my finance. Okay. But not a lot of people actually have this privilege, especially females. So I think financial literacy there is important. No, fair. I think it also gives you a lot of confidence if you know where your money is. And I want to understand on that note, from investing perspective, and given between you and your partner, and in general, I think from a behavioral finance, because you mentioned that, what do you think are the key differences when it comes to men investing versus women investing? Right. In our Indian society, and I'm not generalizing it, but most of us know such a couple wherein the male person of the family makes financial decisions because he believes that the female doesn't understand financial decisions. Second, because the male thinks that if I give money in the hand of the female, she'll spend it all. That is a normal mindset of male in the
Yeah.
society that female are not very good with money. That is something which has to change. I think the major behavioral finance perspective, the difference lies in men's thinking that
Hmm.
oh, women cannot be good in finance and
Hmm.
we are superior to females. So
Right.
I think that is one thing. Otherwise, females generally they avoid diversification because
Hmm.
they generally cling to one asset class, which is gold, because they understand that, they know about it. My mother, for example, knows the gold prices since like forever, and she believes that gold is something which is going to go ahead and
Yeah.
which is going to beat all the asset class.
Also, I think for the men out there, right, who are watching this, what advice would you have for them? How to sort of empower the women in their household
Okay.
to get better with their money?
So for the men, I have this very important request, I would say, is don't treat females as if they don't know anything. They are equally good with money. Just because you can see SEBI chairperson,
Yeah.
RBI, there's so many females working with RBI. There is
Right.
our finance minister is a woman. So men should stop treating females in this way that oh, you don't understand anything about money. This is an important part of the household.
Right.
So don't get involved in it. Don't do
Right.
that. And secondly is get insurance. So you can only talk about retiring early, say, or financial independence only after you have insurance.
Got it. Great pieces of advice. Having been through this journey, 2 kids, having that career break, having that flexibility to make money work for you. Today, you are financially independent. How do you see your future, both personally and professionally?
Professionally, I think I never plan to retire. Like I told you, I plan to work maximum till the time I can work. However, there is a small balance that we have to maintain, and I am a mother of 2 kids.
Yes.
So my kids are going to have those milestones. My husband is going to have few of the milestones. As a family, we are going to have few milestones. So I want to have those milestones stress free. And
Right.
I believe that that is the time again when I will be taking a break for a year or two. During those breaks, I will invest on myself. I will invest on upscaling myself. So I don't know where my career is going to take me. But that is something personally which is in my control. And right now we have so many cases of people passing away because of the work pressure.
Yeah.
So I just think that everybody here is ambitious and we think that, okay, we have to make it. There's this rat race. But, you have to pause and you have to
Right.
think where you're going. Otherwise,
Right.
you're just a rat in the race.
No,
But
fair.
yeah.
And I think thanks for reminding that that's what the purpose of money is, right? To
Correct,
give you
correct.
that freedom, to give you that flexibility to take pauses.
Right,
Otherwise,
right.
what's the point of earning?
Yes.
It's been great to talk to you. Thank you so much.